minutes. If possible, please check your settings and identify yourself by your name and affiliation. Thank you. All right, thank you all for participating tonight. We will now begin with an opening statement from Coach Sampson and then go to questions. Please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. Coach, please give us a brief opening statement, and then we'll go to those questions.
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate Wayne Tinkle and the Oregon State Beavers for a tremendous year. What they did the last few weeks, beating Colorado, Oregon, UCLA, Tennessee, Oklahoma State, Loyola Chicago. My fault. Those are good teams. Those teams beat good teams. That proves how good they are. So hats off to Wayne, a great guy. Kellen and Lauren, my two kids, were born in Montana. I coached in Montana, and Wayne was a great player at the University of Montana. When I talked to Wayne before the game, I said, you know who would love to watch this game tonight is Judd Heathcote. Judd gave me my start at Michigan State, and Wayne and I are both part of Judd's coaching tree. So I was thinking about Judd tonight. But proud of my team. You know, we were really locked in defensively on what we wanted to do. Oregon State, we knew was going to come back and make a run. We got a little bit non-aggressive against the 1-3-1, but they made it like that. You know, not many teams can put a 7-footer at the top of the key and take away your interior pass. They forced us to go slot to slot, corner to corner, and our guys got a little bit stale against that thing. But I wasn't as disappointed in that as I was concerned about our defense at the other end. You know, they kept gashing us, and we'd been so good for so long. But when I called the timeout, one thing you have to remind young people, young men in these situations, don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to miss the shot. You certainly can't be afraid to take it. And so we put Quentin in that other corner and put him on the same side as Dejan, and we tried to get the ball from Marcus to Dejan to Q because we thought we could get the shot. But they're good at running that 1-3-1. We've seen 1-3-1s a lot this year, but not ones that look like that. But it's not supposed to be easy, you know, and proud of these kids, proud of the heart, proud of battling through so many things this year, whether it was injuries or transfers or a tough loss here or there. But for this team to be 28-3 and going to the Final Four, this is one of the greatest accomplishments I've been around. And I have this group of players and this staff, everyone on this staff, all the players, to thank for it. I'm glad they let me go along on the ride with them. It's been a fun ride with this group.
All right, we will now go to questions from the media. Again, please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. Our first question comes from Joseph Duarte with the Houston Chronicle.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, Kelvin, you're out there at the end. You're waving to the crowd. You're seeing your guys dancing, all the emotion. In hindsight, 7 years later, are these the moments that you envision for your program, for you, your family, just to get to this point?
I thought we would win, Joseph. I thought we could win. I did. And you know, we had to get through the first year. That was important because then we could start building. The wins were all pluses that first year. The losses meant nothing. I probably cost us a couple games trying to discipline kids. I remember one kid in particular. I held him out of a few games down the stretch, because the thing I told that bunch that year is our program's going to be more important than any of you. Don't ever think that you're more important than this program. I've always believed that about every program that I've been in charge of. Then once we got through the first year, we just started adding pieces. And we did it brick by brick. We weren't in a hurry. We didn't try to cut any corners. We did it brick by brick. The staff, Kellen was an absolute house. Alvin took care of Houston, and he was significant in building this program. Once Qantas got in, we started, picking off this kid and that kid. But we said no to a lot of kids because I just didn't think that they would fit our culture. We said no to a lot of kids that people would think that's a great get, or that's now you've got great recruits. I don't care about great recruits. It's never been my deal. I wanted kids that I could coach, kids that would be coached, that would be able to survive some tough days, some hard days, and I could get them to play for each other. So I knew we were going to be on that route. But to get to the Final Four, I think each year that went by got closer. I always thought we could, but we had to climb the ladder. Joe Castiglione, who's one of my best friends, AD at Oklahoma, sent me a ladder in a big UPS or FedEx box when I first got to Houston. I didn't know what it was. But he had a letter in there, and he talked about the 3 consecutive Big 12 tournament championships we won while I was at Oklahoma. And he said, Coacher, he always called me Coacher, I hope you get to use this ladder a lot at the University of Houston, and always appreciate the symbolism behind it and how symbolic it is. And what that means is every ladder represents a step along the way. Our academic people, who does such a great job of putting our kids in position to graduate, our compliance people, our athletic director and his administration, our president, Tillman Fertitta, who have supported us financially and helped us gain footing with the rest of the conference, our trainers, our strength coaches, our assistant coaches, managers, players. Everybody's part of the ladder. And we're all kind of the same. We're just part of this program trying to build it. And 2 years ago, we lost to Cincinnati in the conference championship game, a game I felt like we could have won. And then we lost to Michigan, a game I felt like we should have won. And those games told me we're getting close. We just got to keep swinging. We got to keep getting here. You just got to keep winning. You got to keep getting kids to believe. And that's what we did. We lost to Michigan, and that was a gut punch. That hurt a lot. Then we came back the following year, and COVID hit us, but that team was playing its best basketball at the end of the year. Quentin was finally comfortable. Caleb Mills was playing good. Fabian had just had 18 points, 14 rebounds against Precious Achiuwa when we beat Memphis. So I thought that team had a chance to make a run last year until it was taken from us. And then we came back this year. Nate Hinton kept his name in the draft. Fabian tore his ACL. Caleb transferred. We lost Chris. So we lost 4 starters. But the kids that were there believed. And they knew the staff believed. So we were getting closer. And the teams that were ranked all year that got most of the credit for being great teams were great teams. Illinois and Ohio State, all those teams. But, we just kept working and kept getting better. And, when the brackets came out, I told our kids we got a chance to do something special here. Let's go 1-0. 1-0 against Cleveland State, 1-0 against Rutgers, 1-0 against Syracuse, and now 1-0 against Oregon State. And next Saturday, we'll try to go 1-0 again. That's how we approach things.
All right, our next question comes from Myron Metcalf.
Kelvin, in that first year as an assistant with Judd Heathcote, what were some of the lessons that he taught you that you still apply to a season like this?
Yeah, it's a grad assistant, Myron. I was 22 years old. I didn't know whether I was on foot or horseback, and Judd made sure I didn't know if I was on foot or horseback. Being a grad assistant for Judd is kind of like being a glorified manager. I was scared to death of him. He intimidated me. But he believed in me, too. He believed in me. I don't know what it was, but I would never have gotten to Montana Tech. Judd's freshman year in college was at Montana Tech. He helped me get there. And then Judd graduated from Washington State University. If it were not for Judd, I wouldn't have been the head coach at Washington State. So I owe Judd a lot. I think what Judd taught me was that it's okay to be unique. Be yourself. A lot of assistant coaches fail trying to be like the guy they work for. I was a grad assistant, nothing more, but I learned from everybody there. Magic Johnson was always the first guy in the gym. I got a tweet from Magic tonight. We go all the way back to 1978, 79, 80, in those years. But Judd was unique. He was a hard worker. He came from humble beginnings, but his greatest strength was his ability to get the most out of people. But the guy that influenced me the most, that I would give the most credit to, was my father, John W. Sampson. I wish he and my mother were here tonight to see this. The year we went to the last time we went to the Final Four, he had a brain aneurysm the night before we played Arizona in the Sweet 16. My mother and I stayed in the hospital, I think, to 4:30 in the morning, waiting for him to come out of surgery. And then I went back and got with the team and then played Arizona that afternoon. And then he didn't get to go to the Final Four that year because of his surgery, but if he could have, he would have. And I wish they were here tonight. I know they're looking down, so that's a good thing.
All right, and then we have time for one more quick question from Greg Bailey with KTRK.
Hey, Kelvin, congratulations. You've said to us, yeah, absolutely. You've said to us so many times, I'm so happy my players got to experience that, a full crowd at Fertitta. Yeah. A conference championship. How happy are you for these young people who have earned this right through hard work to do something that's going to live on for generations at U of H?
That's what it's all about, Greg. It's all about the players. It's all about them. That this memory will last them a lifetime. They'll tell their grandchildren about this. Their mothers and fathers and their families and friends are watching them and experiencing it from afar. But these guys put in the work. They all have their story. They've all had to battle through adversity to come together as a team. You know, we may not have the brightest lights, but our lights shine as bright as anybody else's because it's all about team. You know, Dejan Giroux by himself is pretty good, but he's a lot better together. Quentin Grimes, good player by himself, but he's a lot better together with the rest of these kids. So we've taken a group of kids to get them to believe, and they've accomplished something that that they will, no matter what happens this weekend, it's something that nobody will can take from them, and they'll always be known as a Final Four participant. They played in the Final Four. They earned it too. I mean, they earned it. There's 3 games in Fort Worth. The 4 games here, you know, every season is going to be ups and downs. That's why the 1976 Coach Knight team is the last one to go undefeated. Everybody's going to lose games. It's how you bounce back from those games. And this team did it the right way because they're high-character kids. High-character kids. High-character kids let you coach them. High-character kids overcome adversity. And they're usually mature. I have a very mature bunch. I love them to death. I'm so happy for them. They are why you coach, and it's been a thrill being with these kids this year.
Well said. Thank you, Coach, for your time today.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
We will be joined momentarily by Dejan Giroux. At this time, please use the raise or lower hand as necessary. All right, we are now joined by Dejan Giroux. Again, please use the raise hand function to indicate you would like to ask a question. When you are called on for your question, please state your name and affiliation first. All right, we are going to start with Andy Yanez with the Cougar.
Hey, John. First of all, man, just take me through. What are you feeling? What was it like once that final buzzer finally sounded?
You said I can't hear you.
Take me back. What was it like? What were the emotions once that final buzzer finally sounded?
Just the relief of all the hard work we've put in to get to this point, and just being counted out and doubted. Just to kind of prove the world that we belong here. They tried to say about us playing double C's, but them double C's also had to beat a single seed in order to get to this point. So I'm just very grateful.
All right, our next question comes from Brian Smith with the Houston Chronicle.
Dejan, you guys talk all the time about the culture of this team, and Kelvin was just praising all the players. How much did that culture, that team collective, allow you guys to find a way to win this game or reach the Final Four?
Well, Oregon State, great team. They fought back, and kind of had us on our heels, but we were able to get back to our roots and rebound the ball, play defense. Like I said, great team. Just following the scout report and just believing in our culture. We started to play harder than them. The final couple minutes, and we were able to pull away and make free throws, and now we're here.
All right, our next question comes from Lucas Weiss with the Undefeated.
Hey, Dejan, congratulations on the win and advancing to the Final Four. I'm just curious what your thoughts are with you and your teammate and friend Bryson both being from New Orleans, both going to the same high school, and now both in the Final Four.
Oh, man, I can't even explain the feeling. Growing up with Bryson, we met in the 9th grade. We'd been through everything together. UMass, left UMass, attended Big Spring for a year, came to Houston, and that is our 3rd year at Houston. It's like a dream come true. We always talked about this, being somewhere as a package deal, and to not be in the Final Four together. That's just a story that is worth telling. Feel like we definitely deserve a 30 for 30 for this. Man, I'm just very happy to have him on my side as my best friend, and the feeling is unexplainable.
All right, our next question will come from Chris Baldwin.
Hey, Dejan, when did you first start thinking a moment like this could be possible at Houston, and what does it mean, to do this with Coach Sampson as well?
Honestly, when that was 2 years ago with Corey Davis, Galen Robinson, that group, I thought it was possible, but our hopes were shot when Tyler Hero knocked down that 3. He's a great player to knock us out, but. Even last year, I thought we had a shot if the NCAA tournament, was to be played. But, this year, this whole year, just believing in my teammates. Those guys believe in me. Always say, they're behind me with whatever. And I'm grateful to be around this group and to have Coach Sampson leading us. Man, he's a great coach. And, to get this win on his 1,000th game, man, that's just something, just worth talking about and just worth living. And I'm happy I'm a part of that. I'm happy he's my coach. I'm happy I came back, and the story is still being written. And we're in the Final Four now.
All right, our next question comes from John Title.
John Title from hoopshd.com. Dejan, I think of you as a defensive player because you were named Conference Defensive Player of the Year, but the last 2 games you're almost averaging a triple-double. So how have you been able to balance all the different aspects of your game over the past couple games, if not month?
My teammates, my coaches, my family, just always tell me how gifted I am. And, I just go out there every night and just give it my all and, just focus on the little things and just let everything else happen. We try to focus on the defensive end first and, just let offense take care of itself. just playing my game. Just, like I said, I love seeing my teammates score the ball. So, just trying to distribute, facilitate. If I'm open, I take my shots. I rebound. But, just playing within myself. Just playing my game, really.
All right. Our next question comes from Mark Berman.
Dejan, Mark Berman from Fox in Houston. Can you get your arms around what you guys have just done? I mean, you just did something that hadn't been done here in 37 years.
I ain't even.
Four decades. You're making history. What do you think?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but the emotions. Emotion hasn't even set in yet. Honestly, still feel like we're playing the game. I think it'll set in once we get to the hotel and settle down. My adrenaline's still rushing. Man, I'm just grateful to be here. Like I said, I have my fallen angels leading me. I'm doing this for my brother Trish. I'm just grateful. I'm happy, to bring the excitement back to Houston and continue with the Five Slamma Jamma did, and just to bring the excitement to the university. And I just love everything about it. I love Houston. I love University of Houston. I love my coaches, love my teammates, and we here. But the emotions hasn't even set in yet.
All right. Our next question comes from Austin Pedalillo.
Dejan, when you think about all this, in 2018-19, you guys lose in the Sweet 16. Last year, you don't have the tournament. Now you're in the Final Four. I mean, you said it hasn't set in yet, but I mean, just thinking about it, I mean, to get to this point, how gratifying is that?
Man, it's like a dream come true. Growing up, watching the Final Four, watching college basketball, you always think about getting to this point, seeing former players on TV do this. Like I said, as a kid, I'm watching TV growing up. I'm like, I hope I'll be here one day, and man, I'm really here. Never thought I'd see this day, but God has other plans for people, and God has a plan for me and my teammates. We're here for a reason. Man, the emotions hasn't set in yet. Like I said, I'm just grateful, man.
All right, we will go back to Myron Metcalf.
Dejan, what was it like celebrating after the game without sort of the traditional NCAA tournament vibe? What was that whole feeling like?
It would have been way litter if if COVID wasn't here, but COVID's here and it's restrictions, but the Houston family still came out, gave us the support, gave us the love. They were loud, and just to celebrate with them. Also, your family in the stands. You get to see them. You just have to live life the way it is right now, and you just have to be grateful, for what you can do. And I'm grateful to be here. And just to be here while COVID's here. Control what you can control, and we're controlling what we can control. And I'm grateful. That's it. I'm grateful. We're in the Final Four with one of the best coaches ever. Love my teammates, and we're here.
Awesome. And our final question comes from Joseph Duarte with the Houston Chronicle.
Dejan, when you look back at how everything has gone, and Coach Sampson's sort of that message every time about this can happen, that this dream can become a reality, what do you remember about those early days when maybe there was, I don't know if there was doubt, but he always sold the same message?
It's never really was doubt, just, following his plan, and, the plan he set in place for us, just, going out there every night, playing hard, and letting our culture take care of a lot of games, which our culture did today. Like I say, Oregon State fought back, and, our culture took over. We got on the offensive glass. We got extra possessions. And, we work on that every day in practice. All them sprints in June, July, we do it to be here in March, and, it was all worth it.
Awesome. Thank you, Dejan, for your time.
Appreciate y'all.
And that is it for tonight. A full transcript will be provided by ASAP Sports at www.ncaa.com/transcripts. You can also find a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at www.ncaa.veritone.com. Thank you for joining us.